Hey everybody, it's Jason here with Remax. I wanted to touch base with you guys because I haven't made a video in a while, but I wanted to talk about the crazy market that we're in. Everybody's losing out on these multiple offers, and we're seeing houses sell for, 50, 100, 150, 250, 300,000 over asking. I think there was one that sold for $1 million or something in the city. But uh, I've been in the business 10 years. I haven't seen it this bad in a while. It will get better, but this is just the market that we're in. Business cycles, they go up and then they go down. So we're just in the seller's market right now. It will balance out and go to buyer's market eventually. When that happens, we don't know. We hopefully, I mean, when I say we, me and my mortgage brokers, we have this chat all the time. And we just say, it's up to the federal government now to step in because everybody at the municipal and the ground level, we're trying to do as much as we can, but it's out of our hands now. So I've come up with 5 different ways on how to tackle multiple offers in this crazy market. And they're in no discernible order. You take them as you choose. Some of this advice, you will think that I'm nuts, but listen, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I am in the trenches, so I'm there outside these houses for 2 to 3 hours, sitting, waiting for these offer presentations, and losing out. So I'm right there at the very beginning, how this all starts or finishes, or however you want to take that. So, number one, if you're sending in an offer, make it a firm offer. That's really the only way for you to be considered. I mean, there's some situations that you can submit an offer that are conditional on properties that may not be as more popular, but if you're in multiple offer situation with 4 or 5 offers, you better go in at a firm offer, or what we call as buying your condition. So if you're going to be putting a condition in, then you have to unfortunately add a little bit more money so the seller would at least consider your offer. So that's what we call buying a condition. That's what I call it. So that is one topic. The number 2 is offer as much as you can. Whereas if you were to lose by $1,000, you would say that's all right with you. Meaning that if a property was, let's say at 500 and, multiple offers, you're going to offer, 530. You would be okay if someone paid 536 or 531 because that was my max budget. That's as much as I wanted to pay. So at least you don't have buyer's remorse on that. So that's another option there too. So number 3 is when you're looking at the comparable sales for what has sold recently, that is now irrelevant. Basically, the recent sales are now the fading edge of where the market is now. So if you're looking at those sales, what has sold in a specific micro neighborhood, look at those sales and say, I have to start being on the forefront of where this pricing is now. So if you have, a townhome complex where there's, 3 that have sold for 350, you're no longer at 350. You're at like 360, 370. You're creating basically the new benchmark. So you got to be really aggressive on that too. So don't be afraid to pay more than asking because you're gonna have to. So number 4 in working with a really crazy overheated market or neighborhood is, and you think this is really bad advice, but it tends to work. So listen through this. Think of something crazy that a property would never sell for, and that's what you offer. So you think, oh man, I'm never gonna offer that much. Why would it sell for? But then you usually see these properties, they're selling for 200,000 over asking, 300,000 over asking. People are going crazy and just throwing money at these sellers. So I would see that works. It's think of something crazy that probably never sell for, offer it. You're basically setting the new benchmark. You would probably get it, but everybody else in that offer presentation will think that you're nuts. The only bad side about that too is that if you offer something way over than you should, like some of these people offering 200, 300,000 over asking, that property may not appraise from the bank. So the bank always has to appraise the property to make sure you get the mortgage unless you're putting 20% down or you have basically cash. So if it doesn't appraise and you say, I'm going to buy this property, for 700, it's only, the average sale price is, 500, you may be on the hook for the difference. So be very, very careful with that. So the last bit of advice that I want to give you is find out what the multiplication factor, the dollar multiplication factor is for your neighborhood and for the multiple offer situation. So let me explain this. This is actually an old school real estate tactic. I never really thought too much about it, but now that I'm witnessing it, witnessing the multiple offers, firsthand, I'm starting to see the wisdom behind it, and I'm starting to understand the logic. I don't know who came up with this, but it kind of makes sense. So, for example, if there are 5 offers on a property that's listed at 500, you were originally going to offer 500 because that's what it's listed at in a normal market. But there's 5 offers. The old rule of thumb was add 10,000. So if there's 5 offers, you're now going to be bidding 550. So you need to use a real estate agent to find out the sale to list ratio, because this is where you can find out the data for that. So basically you find the difference of what properties are selling for in a specific neighborhood. Find that difference. You have to kind of know how many offers there were and divide that amongst each other, and then you get your multiplication factor. For example, yesterday we lost out on an offer in Oakville. It sold for 173 over asking, something crazy. But there are 22 offers. So if you do the math, the average multiplication factor is 7.6 or $7,600. So now if we're looking in that specific neighborhood again, and I know if I'm going to run into these agents, the same agents, because they're all 21 agents lost out. So we're all 21 agents are going to look at the next property. If they're going to bid again, just say maybe 10 or 12 do, you can kind of guess that maybe if I use the multiplication factor of $7,600 in addition to how many offers there were, you may be able to win the property. That, coupled with all the other tips that I've given you here today in your toolbox, hopefully you can use those as a strategy to win these bidding wars, multiple offers, because basically it's a guessing game. We're sending these offers that we don't know what the other agents have. They don't know what we have. The seller's not going to tell us, of course. So you have to basically try to guess how much the seller will take, right? And hopefully these strategies work. So as a quick recap, send in a firm offer as much as you can, that if you were to lose it by $1,000, you would be okay, no buyer's remorse. The old sales are at the fading edge, and couple that with, think of something crazy and offer it. You're basically setting the new benchmark, and find out what the dollar multiplication factor is for your local neighborhood there. So hopefully you go out there and start winning some offers. Please leave comments in the section below. I do want to hear your thoughts and your comments and some feedback. Maybe we can think of another strategy to figure out how to win these multiple offers. So appreciate you listening. Leave the comments, hit the like button, share it, and let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks, guys.